Here's an important update to my brothers and sisters in Christ. We have become doormats because we suffer from historical amnesia. We have lost the resolve of our ancestors, and if we don't learn from our past, we are going to surrender our future. When we talk about the Christian West, we often think about Europe, but may I suggest to you that Europe is just a remnant. The original Christian world wasn't just Rome, it was the Pentarchy with 5 pulsing hearts of the faith. Jerusalem in Israel, known as the City of the Cross. Antioch and Constantinople in Turkey, where we were first called Christians. Alexandria in Egypt, the intellectual place for theology. And you finally have Rome in Italy, the lone survivor. These 5 places cradle over half of the world's Christian population. But within 100 years after the death of Muhammad in 632 AD, Muslim armies swept the region, conquering 75%, 3/4 of the Christian world. This is not myth, it's just forgotten history, buried to make the West feel guilty. By 732 AD, 100 years after the death of Muhammad, 4 of these 5 Christian centers were gone. Rome was the only lone survivor because Christians historically pushed back with defensive wars. Driven by jihad, they didn't just take the land. Believers were enslaved and reduced to 2nd or 3rd class citizens known as dhimmis. Syria, Egypt, North Africa, Spain all vanished under the sword and the crescent moon. Christians, these were the lands where the apostles walked, where martyrs bled, and where the gospel was proclaimed from the hills. The Mediterranean became a Muslim lake. Europe was cut off to the west and forced to find themselves independently, and that's how we arrived at the Dark Ages. Because if you traveled to the east, you're gonna get For centuries, Christians have pushed back against Islamic colonization. But now, we've opened our borders in the West. This time, these Islamists conquer from within, through democracies, through the ballot, and one day, when necessary, through the sword or the bullet, as prescribed by Surah chapter 9, verse 29. History is going to repeat itself, unless, of course, we wake up. Look at Hungary and Poland, Catholic strongholds that know their history. They resist Islamist infiltration. Protestant nations like Germany, Sweden, and the UK, and even the US, we forget history. We preach tolerance while churches get emptied and more mosques get built because guilt is their gospel. Christians, remember your history. This isn't hate. We are called to love our enemies, but we are also called to stand firm and push back against darkness with truth and courage. For the record again, Muslims are not our enemies. Criticize Islamists and Islam, for we know we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the spirits and ideas of this world. We are the last remnant. We are not meant to fade. We are meant to reclaim. Teach your kids. Speak in churches. Speak with fortitude and courage. Christ is King, and his story isn't over.